Yesterday was New Comic Book Day. I went to my LCS Buy Me Toys in beautiful Mishawaka, Indiana, and picked up my pulls. Let me show you what I got. Hey, this is James from Read More Comics. As I shared in the intro, yesterday was New Comic Book Day. I went to my LCS and I want to share what I picked up. All of them were pre-orders except for two. I picked up a back issue and something right off the shelf. Before we go too deep into it, though, I want you to please spend a moment, if you'd like, share, subscribe. As I'm talking about comics today, if there's anything that stands out to you, please feel free to leave a comment. Tell me what you think. So these are all my pre-orders, except for one back issue. Oh, yeah. And let me put that one aside. And a book that I picked up off the shelf. I already said that. So starting out, and I'm kind of mixed. I pre-ordered this book right here. There was another cover that I think I liked better, but I pre-ordered this one, so I kept it. So we got Absolute Batman, issue number 22. This is the Dan Quintana cover, so check that out. So I really do like Quintana's art style. I recognize, though, that most of his cover work is going to be either outside my ability to purchase or outside my ability or desire to put in the effort to track it down. So I went, okay, he is the new hotness. I didn't feel any FOMO at all, though I saw on social media some people were calling it FOMO. But I did want a sample of his work, and I do think Absolute Harley Quinn, what he did for a cover, has incredible detail. Check that out. So, and if you haven't been reading Absolute Batman, it's a fun ride. Highly recommend it. Another Absolute book. This is also a pre-order. This is Absolute Catwoman, issue number 2. This is the John Boy Myers cover. I love, here, we kind of have to turn it so, like, I love the cityscape on that. I mean, it takes this way, but it should be this way. It just pops. So issue number 1 set up Selena Kyle more as almost like a Mission Impossible character rather than a thief. So it'll be interesting to see how this goes. My understanding is it's only supposed to be 5 issues. So this is issue number 2. I imagine if it gets a lot of traction like some other DC books have, it might keep going. We'll see. Then we have, and I'm calling it Aquaman. I'm not into the Emperor Aquaman. I don't think the label is necessary. So we have Aquaman issue number 19. Last couple issues have been kind of a fun departure, I think, for Aquaman stories. It's almost like they're taking a page out of Ryan North's book in his previous volume of Fantastic Four, where it was just kind of a one and done, and it was fun. Focused on what is it? It's the Starro that Jarro. That's what it is. It's the Starro that adopted Batman as his surrogate father. Okay. And a bunch of other Starros. It was a lot of fun. This one, the Justice League is supposed to, apparently, according to the solicit, show up and question Aquaman, which I think this Aquaman title has found that balance in a character that is like a political leader, a monarch, a sovereign ruler, and also a superhero, in a way that other Aquaman runs have not. So it's been a lot of fun, and I think it's Josh Adams. Put it down here if it's not. Anyway, he's been telling a good story. So I do like Tim's art on this. Right now we got Villanelli, which I'm not aware of. So this is the A cover right there. Sorry, there are apparently two impulse buys. No, that's not it. Yeah, it was an impulse buy. I'm going to move that to the bottom. Next up, we have a Fire and Ice tie-in. This is Fire and Ice Dark Wolf from Dynamite. This is the Stuart Sager cover. So I got this for a couple different reasons. First, Stuart Sager is a local artistic talent, like local in, I think he lives in the state next to ours. And he comes to local Comic-Cons all the time. And I'm like, you know, I'll get this book and I'll get him to sign it because I really like his art style. And I think this kind of stands out. This is a tie-in to the Fire and Ice book that has taken, it's going on 3 years now to get to issue 4. Okay. Issue 5, it's a TBD or TBA solicitation. Like no one knows when it's going to come out. I love the world building that exists into it. If you've ever seen the Fire and Ice cartoon from the 1980s, script was written by Roy Thomas. Frank Frazetta had a role as a producer, I think. It's really quite amazing, and the comic book's solid. And it's at this point, I don't know if I'm just being stubborn or not, because they've come out with a couple spin-offs. You know, they've had a couple one-shots, and then we have Dark Wolf here, who apparently this is going to be an ongoing. So who's writing this? Panosian's writing this, so that'll be fun. Anyway, and then and when I was in line getting my books scanned, I was at the counter getting my books rung up by the proprietress. Is that the proprietress? Yeah. Anyway, the wife of the owner. When Kelly was ringing me up, she kept pointing to this. Oh yeah, I'm really just, and I wasn't making the connection. I thought because it had a wolf on the. So I'm just going to show this to you, and we'll talk about how oblivious I was. So we got G.I. Joe issue number 330. G.I. Joe, Real American Hero. And the big deal is it's not the wolf, because she's like, oh yeah. And I'm like, I don't get it. Apparently on the last page, Tomb Raider shows up. Not the first time she's had a crossover. I've heard that there's supposed to be a Tomb Raider G.I. Joe spinoff. Really don't have any interest in that. I just want G.I. Joe, you know. I think we got one book left, and this is book 10 of 15. And there's 1, 2, yeah. Anyway, so this is Thundercats X Silverhawks, issue number 10. In the last issue, the Silverhawks realized they were on the same team, maybe, as the Thundercats. This has been a really cool read in that there's been a lot of lore building. Like there's background with the Thundercats on Third Earth that Shelby has been exploring. And in my opinion, the Mummer book has been stellar because I'm a big Mummer fan, as much as you can be, considering he's the bad guy. So these were my shelf buys. Issue number 5, Shadow of Maul. That's a Derek Chew cover, which I think is pretty amazing. I remember when Derek Chew kind of popped right before the pandemic. It was like early 2020, maybe 2019. And his art was very Artgerm-esque, you know. And now, like, if I didn't know this was a Derek Chew cover, I would not know it's a Derek Chew cover, which I think is an awesome thing. You know, he's kind of broadened his artistic endeavors. This has been arguably one of the best Star Wars comics or stories in the last year, 5 years. I don't know. It's all about this guy right here. He's a cop on some backwater planet on the Outer Rim, and he's just doing cop stuff. It's like a procedural drama almost. Meanwhile, this guy here, he made his move last issue. he is about to make a play to become the underworld boss of the planet, which was bound to happen. That's like a spoiler-free spoiler. Like, okay, if you're familiar with what Darth Maul did in Clone Wars, you know what he's going to do in this, right? I have not seen the Shadow Maul cartoon at all. I think this is the last issue, but I'm going to be honest. I wish it was an ongoing. Like, they could keep telling a story about him. This is his buddy. This buddy cop Star Wars book. It would be awesome. Now, here is my impulse shelf buy. I read a preview. I read a review of this that sold me on it, and I kind of reflected on it. I've been on this reflective journey, as I've shared in a bunch of other videos, and I was like, am I picking this up because of the cover, or do I want this because of the book? And I realized that there are several Batman adjacent characters who've had miniseries or ongoings that I picked up because it's adjacent and it creates a deeper lore. Okay, so this is Clayface Celebrity Dirt. Anyway, issue number 1. I'm hoping DC does like a series of just movie poster homage covers because it's just sick. Like, check that out. I love like when they put the lines into it. So it was almost a cover buy, but I'm like, I don't want a cover buy that a month from now I'm going like, why is this in my collection? But I did read the Penguin mini. That was great. That was a Tom King mini series. If you haven't read the Penguin mini, highly recommend it. It's a great kind of crime boss. It's really about organized crime. It's pretty cool. It's kind of like Goodfellas, except not, if that makes sense. I'm reading Poison Ivy, read Catwoman, I'm collecting Catwoman, you know, so it made sense from a collector standpoint, a reader standpoint, and the review I read about this just said it's an amazing story. You know, the art is stellar, the story is incredible. Clayface in Batman the Animated Series was, I'd say I put him as a top 5 villain, you know. Definitely top 5. So, looking forward to that. So, this is a back issue buy. I had a pretty light week, and I'm going like, okay, I'll get an extra book. And I'm looking around, and there was no Marvel back issues that I really wanted, you know, that would fill in any gaps. And I found that they had Jimmy Olsen Volume 1, which AOL says it's one of the top 10 best books of 2010. And, you know, who am I to question AOL? And I was flipping through it because this wasn't bag and boarded. My LCS doesn't, like, their back issues, some back issues are in bags and boards. If it's like a ratio variant or a variant that has gone up in price, and so they're going to put a sticker on it, right? And then there are others that are not. And I'm flipping through and I'm going like, okay, the art's working. Let me see if I can find it. Well, in the flip through time, it's an anthology. There's several Jimmy Olsen stories, okay? And like Volume 2 by Matt Fraction, it's a like Jimmy Olsen is not the comic relief. Like, he's not intentionally a comedic character, but outrageously funny things happen. And I'm going like, I can dig that because I like Matt Fraction's run. I think he kind of is the comedic foil in a way, I guess. I don't know. Where ridiculous things happen. I am just not finding it. Yeah, I'm not going to worry about it. So I picked this up because I have Volume 2, and this is one of those things that I'm trying to push back against is the completionist tendency as a collector and a reader. Like, well, I have every other volume, so I need this volume too. Unless it's a specific title, like Batman, for example, I'm not going to. I'm trying to fight that desire, you know. It's hard, but I picked this up, I flipped through it, and I went, okay, this is going to be a fun read. It's only one issue, and I like what DC has done, like in Volume 2, and if you go back to the Superman's pal, Jimmy Olsen, where crazy things are happening, kind of bonkers things are happening, that's kind of the nonsense that they're maintaining. So, anyway, hoping this is a good read. So these are my books. Let me know what you think. Leave a comment. What did you pick up this week? Did you pick up your new Comic Book Day books? Appreciate you listening me ramble on about comics that I'm enjoying. Thanks for tuning in for that. Don't forget, life really is so much better when we read more comics.